Hello, 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 good people. This is your guy, your educator, your communicator, your free thinker, coming back at you live from the Lone Star State once again with the top story. Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Today's top story comes to us from not only Fox News, not only from the Dallas Morning News, but also from the Fort Worth Star Telegram. And it reads, Texas mayor resigns after telling residents he owed them nothing following storm power outage, and Senator Ted Cruz flees to Mexico to escape the Texas cold. What is going on with our politicians here in Texas, in our Lone Star State? What is going on? So let's get to it. The mayor of a Texas town who told residents he owed them nothing as winter storms left millions across the state without power in single-digit temperatures has resigned, as he should have. Now here's the quote: "No one owes you no one owes you or your family anything." Tim Boyd, previously mayor of Colorado City. Now I don't know what that is. I'm going to have to look that up. Texas, Colorado City, Texas. That's where he's mayor. Okay. Wrote Tuesday in a Facebook post, "I am sick and tired of people looking for a damn handout." Wow. Now, good people, haven't I told you all time and time again about social media? It either will be your beginning or your end, or both. But we see here clearly what it was with this mayor. He has since deleted the post. Okay, it's too late. So this is after the fact. This is after the fact. Really? Really? You try to exercise damage control after the fact? The damage is done. Okay, let's continue. In a second post, Mr. Boyd said he won't deny for 1 minute anything he said in the previous post. Okay, so he's standing on his square, but complained that his wife had faced harassment, while adding that he had resigned from his position. Well, so you brought that upon your family for what you did. Mr. Boyd said he made the comments as a private citizen. So let me get this straight. So you resigned first and then made the comment? Okay, this is what he's saying, and that he had resigned his position days earlier. Oh, okay. That's what you did. It still doesn't matter. You're still somewhat of a politician, and you are a public figure. So, but this has to be really investigated. He is still listed. Okay, he is still listed as mayor on the city's website, and council agenda cite him as mayor as recently as last week, according to the Washington Post. Okay, now he's trying to do damage control too, not working. The former mayor said his wife was fired from her job due to his statement, and complained that his family was subject to undeserved harassment and death threats. Now I wonder, what did his wife do? Who does she work for? Well, you are a public servant, sir, like I said before, meaning you serve the public. If I was the people, I would be pissed too. Now, I'm not advocating any violence. I'm just saying, how do you think those people feel? It's cold outside. This is a state of emergency. This actually is a catastrophic event. Okay, let's continue. The Facebook screed was shared widely on social media and was reported on by numerous news outlets. See, social media. In his initial post, Mr. Boyd said people waiting in their homes to have their power restored were lazy. Wow. And said that the strong will survive and the weak will perish. Oh, okay, so in nature, yes. But this is not Armageddon. This is an anomaly, I presume. I'm just saying. Really? I mean, wow. But residents in the region were lazy. Now this is what he's saying. Residents in the region were lazy. That's bad. But residents banded together to help support each other by walking through the snow to deliver supplies. Others had opened up their private wells to provide water for those who had lost services. Now, that must be a rural area, I presume. Must be a rural area. And that's good. You see, people came together as it should be. Mr. Boyd's tirade told people he thinks are too lazy to get up and fend for themselves. Blame the socialist government. Okay. Texas' inability to provide uninterrupted utility service to millions of residents is partly due to the state's decision to operate its own power grid in an effort to avoid federal regulation. Well, that's another matter, which we found out which is true. In my other post I did, I discussed that, and this is new. Actually, I didn't know that they decided to do their own thing to avoid federal regulation, but I do know that the feds warned them years ago, and that's in my other video, that they said that, look, if you don't improve your infrastructure here, you may have a situation may come up where you have a deep freeze or something, and you won't have enough power to give to all the citizens. They warned them that about that 22 years ago in my last post I did. So I didn't know Texas did their own thing though and decided to avoid that federal regulation, and it came back to bite them. It cost them. Okay, now on to our next story. U.S. Senator Ted Cruz from Texas flew to the Mexican resort city of Cancun with his family. Fox News reported on Thursday as millions of his fellow Texans struggled through a deadly deep freeze, sparking a slew of criticisms. The Republican lawmaker, he's 50 years old, faced widespread criticism as photos circulated on social media showing him in an airport line in a passenger lounge. Don't he know this is the age of information? People got cell phones, tablets. You're going to be seen everywhere. Wow. So, he was in an airport line in a passenger lounge aboard an airliner and departing in an airport in Mexico. It was unclear when the photos were taken, and Cruz's Senate office did not respond to multiple queries. No, they shouldn't, like they should. Because this is bad. Once again, we're talking damage control. Fox News said Cruz flew to Cancun with his family, quoting an unidentified Republican source who said the photos speak for themselves. Yes, they do. Hours before the Fox News report, photos began circulating on social media that a journalist said had shown him flying to Mexico's Caribbean coast, where temperatures were to be above 80 degrees Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. Wow. Here's the quote from that. Just confirmed as Senator Ted Cruz and his family flew to Cancun tonight for a few days at a resort they visited before. Cruz seems to believe there isn't much for him to do in Texas for the millions of fellow Texans who remain without electricity, water, and literally freezing. Former MSNBC anchor David Schuster tweeted shortly after midnight. So Cruz couldn't stick it out with his fellow Texans. He couldn't say, hey, I'm going to freeze with you. We're all in this together. But apparently not. He sentenced every person for themselves. Like that mayor in Colorado City. Social media will get you. This is not a good look for our politicians, good people. It is not. Wow. Millions of Texans remain paralyzed by power and water outages after a winter storm and freezing temperatures that hampered efforts to restore full power. Local authorities have meanwhile urged residents not to use fuel-burning heat sources that create carbon monoxide indoors. These devices, including grills, stoves, gas generators, and car engines, have been blamed for at least 2 deaths and several hospitalizations this week. In one such case, a Houston family of 4 is believed to have been pausing after leaving a car running in their home's attached garage to create heat, killing 2 of them. Okay, but that's a small percentage, but what do you want people to do? See, we have all this what not to do, as I stated before, but we don't have what to do. Because see, self-preservation is the first law of nature. But we can talk about that later. So when our elected officials imply for us to stop the fuss, I can't help but quote the late great Michael Jackson. They don't really care about us. When the snow melts off the doorsteps for some, it will be heartfelt. But I can say that parting ways won't be bittersweet in sorrow. But we can bear witness to our own day after tomorrow. Shout out to all the people who are snowed in. Keep your head up, because I can rest assure you this is Texas, and the sun will shine again. All right, good people, sad to say, but that's it for today. And remember, if you have or had a bad day and can't wait for the snow to melt away so it can be okay. This is your guy, your educator, your communicator, your free thinker. Subscribe, share, and like so that I can keep rocking on the mic. Stay safe, stay warm.